In the spring of 2025, I found this thing at the bike track on the east side of the river. On its fuel tank, it says Kabadi Dai. What's important is that its engine door is thick and large, so the rear of the bike is raised, and its tires seem to be track edition. I managed to pry it up, then used a forklift to just drip it back in. I just weighed this bike, so it's a total of 279 Jin. The boss sold it to me for 7 yuan per kilogram. Considering this bike's pocket is super thick and large, and the track-specific tires, I don't think I'll lose money selling this bike then. After fixing it up, I'll sell it to your classmate. You could even earn over 10,000 yuan by graduation. I estimate this bike hasn't been sitting there for a short time. Look, these tires have large areas of cracking. The rear fender's mudguard has been snapped into thin pieces from it, but judging from the engine's appearance, it doesn't seem to be damaged. At least there's no oil leak. These 4 exhaust pipes are all snapped off right at the root. I suspect this one has a catalytic converter. Even such a good chain was cut straight across. Its current condition, when this 750 came back, was even worse. Anyway, you put on your gloves first. We're going to get to work. Such a good chain. And he gave me a tyre cut on it. And you have to look at his bike frame. It's already bent into an X shape. But none of that is important. As long as this engine can still run, I think this bike is worth it wherever you sit. So now everyone, let's figure out a way to get this engine running again. I removed all the damaged bodywork, revealing the bike's frame. Looks quite straight and clean. But now it's missing a key. That's not a problem either. I have a way to cut it open. If it really doesn't work, we can just connect the wire under the keyhole directly. You better remember this. If you ever lose your bike key in the future, give me a call. I'll come rescue you. Now, let's get a battery for this bike. Connect it up and try to get some power going. Tired at all when circling. I've worked on so many cars. This is the only one that powers up. And its engine just idle. Now we can work on its fuel system. This is its fuel tank. Not really sure which fire butterfly caused such a big hole in it. It's no longer worth repairing. I guess this gasoline basin might still be usable. Its exterior looks terrible, but the inside is plastic. So there's no large, scale corrosion. Several motorcycles. We can pick a tank from these autographs to test the car. Using a method of selecting by elimination, like picking beans in a small pan, I chose this lemon-colored tank. But the connectors are different. I'll directly wire it up with jumper. Wire. Let's get it started first. Now it has fuel and power. We can try to just start it.
Wish us luck.
That's strange. This thing has fuel and power. It should start in theory. But this thing, could it have no compression? If its engine really has no compression. This car, the two of us.
Me buying it.
I removed its spark plug, connected the compression gauge, cranked it twice, and got over 7 units of pressure each time. The problem isn't it. So now we can confirm the car has fuel and compression. I checked its electrical system, pulled out the spark plug, and indeed no spark came out. Looks like the problem is in the wiring. I checked this fire butterfly's brake line, clutch line, sensor, fuse, but I even suspected the engine control unit was also damaged when I went to turn the ignition key. When I was about to take apart the computer, I noticed that its red light kept staring at this poor retail investor. I casually tore off its instrument panel. Underneath it, there was actually a key symbol hidden. It suddenly dawned on me. Does this guy have an immobilizer chip function? This car needs a chip to unlock. This ordinary key won't work. It seems like I'll have to use the car modification guide then. I used a total of 2.6 sheets of the car modification guide. I got a little gadget. Because I didn't have the original car key. Oh, so we moved it so they could. I dragged a lot of people around before finding a way to solve this little chip problem. It now detects the chip. If it can start right away, it would be the most startup-worthy one among all these junk cars I've played with. Wish me luck. Its oil filter housing is leaking. In just this short while. It's eaten up this much, but it doesn't matter. I'll just replace it directly. Let me tell you, my companion, right at this moment. I naively thought it was just a broken oil filter housing. I'll replace it, and it'll be fine. Just from that little surge earlier, this end spat out almost a liter of oil. Now, I've also replenished the oil for it. I've confirmed the engine has no issue. Then I'll change its oil again. Now I'm going to start it again. How come even the engine part, this car is really sloppy? The oil I just added, I estimate it's already leaked out. Again, I removed the side cover of this engine. You can see the parts inside are still in shape. But I caught a breather underneath. I only started it twice, not even 6 seconds in total. He even threw the tape spear at me, spilling engine oil all over the ground. For me, this car never has a moment of pure satisfaction. I vaguely feel that this car might have some issues with shrinking passages. I used a carbon welder. To weld back the edge, casing of this damaged part, then smooth it flat with a grinder. Then just disassemble it however it was, and reassemble it however it was, and it should be fine. I hope this time it doesn't act up and cause trouble for me again. I added a second bucket of engine oil for it. Now, I still don't know what condition. This engine is actually... Anyway, regarding the engine oil, I've already gone through 2 clean buckets. The change of my engine oil, I just finished topping it up nicely. And now I don't know from where it started leaking gasoline for me. I think this car definitely has some issues with shrinking passages. When I bought this car, I already felt it was a bit strange. After getting it back, I wanted to test its performance. But after tinkering and fiddling, I forgot about this matter. Its current situation is really the green chili isn't spicy. The spicy set is still bland. The placeware is leaking fuel oil. But this is this friend's mouth. When I pulled its plug, it even scraped the skin on my hand. The first thing to arrive was this domestically made version of the headlight. This is a used exhaust pipe. This also has a catalytic converter. Buying this pair of used taillight just exhausted me completely. Price. It's a used fuel tank. The seller told me it's pretty original and unmodified, but this orange color doesn't suit my car. That pretty much covers the early parts about this car's accessory. No, I can go use dry ice to give it a thorough cleaning in a carport. Here, it sells for 6 yen per kilogram in the evening. I bought 30 kilograms of it. This is the car body treated with dry ice. The effect is truly wide, free, gin of big chili pepper. Up until now, buying this car, there was still very worth it. Then I also plan to use a paint stripper to strip off its original factory primer. But suddenly I realized that seller was purely just cutting corners here. Looking at this fuel tank now, about 70 or 80% of the paint was applied on it, and each time the color was different. Until I stripped the fuel tank to look like this. It was originally really an orange color. But this fuel tank was also a car with a story, and the repairs were done particularly sloppily. I could only cut open the fuel tank from the bottom, figure out a way to repair it again. After a boring session, I finally managed to salvage this fuel tank back to 90%. Consider the remaining small dents as if you didn't see them. Then I used a handheld laser welder to weld its bottom shell back on. Next, there's the old routine. First, spray the fuel tank with epoxy primer for rust prevention. Then thinly apply a layer of body filler for leveling. Then give it a coat of mid-coat paint to even out the color tone. Finally, you can spray it with your favorite green color. Then apply a 1:1 replica fuel tank decal. Next, you can spray the final coat of clear varnish and then send it to the baking booth. After that, you get this crystal clear and translucent fuel tank. The accessories for this car are pretty much done. Installing this front axle requires a special tool. I don't have one, but I'm also resourceful now. I welded 2 screws together, which can perfectly substitute for it. Its rear tire is still a slick tire. Back when I bought this tire, I estimate the cost was no less than 1,000 something. Of course, now it's completely worn out. I need to go replace it. I installed its mirror. Considering the restoration complete, its weight definitely exceeds the 279 gin I bought it for. But now, if you bid 7, you'll pay a. I still won't sell it to you. It can start perfectly. Now, now this big guy is considered fully refurbished. Maybe we can go for the test drive. Okay.